Hello everybody, welcome to our inspiration for the SVG release of our Seasonal Finishing Touches volume number 2. Now these really are adorable. Not only do you get your fabulous wreath etc, but you've got some truly wonderful characters. They're just super. So as I said, this is the SVG version of it. You do get your die and you do also get Minecraft Studio. Now, I've been a little bit naughty and I've borrowed one of the backgrounds from Minecraft Studio. So if you have everything, that's where you're going to find this background. It's in the Minecraft Studio folder on the USB. Okay, so there we go. Aren't they beautiful? I've got a couple of others. Let me show you what I actually printed off. What I'm aiming for, so you've got an idea, is I loved the wreath and I've cut a couple of wreaths, but I'm going to do my own decoupage with some of this. And I needed to be able to, I want a window. Do you get where I'm going with this? I need something in the background because we're going to cut an aperture to sit this on, but then this is going to be in the background. So I need to be able to see what's happening here. And I did like that one. Again, aren't the colourways beautiful? The artwork's fabulous. But I kind of liked this one that's a little bit more of the door. Maybe let's go about there. So I think I'm going to fussy cut this one around about there and have most of the door showing, which is the super thing about the ScanNCut, because you can scan it and you can fussy cut, so you can see all of this. Now, when I was just talking about cutting out those images, of course, they are our reflections. And as always, we have some fabulous new beginners that join us regularly. And this is what a reflection looks like when you print it for the ScanNCut. Now, really important, at the bottom, it tells you your collection, Volume 2. So this is Seasonal Finishing Touches, Volume 2. This is Whispers of Spring. We've also got a size on there that says large. Now, when you get the SVG files, you do get a little bit different combination from the dies. Firstly, you always get the original. Now, if there's no size printed down here, that means it's the original size. So that's the die size. And depending on what the parameters of the file to what the ScanNCut can actually cut, because it can't cut really tiny, it's got to have a 3mm circle or turning circle, so the blade's got to be able to go in, go all the way around and come back and meet itself, and that is 3mm. So like I say, that will depend on size. So maybe you've got a large and an extra large, or you could have had original, a small and a large. It depends on how it works. But again, it's printed on your paper, so you haven't got to worry about it. If you've done lots of printing and you think, was this the large? Was this, which one did I print? It's already there for you. And then the super exciting thing, again, because it's the SVG files, we have reversed reflection, which is fabulous, okay? So I've printed this one off. I'm going to show you how to group, scan in and actually align this, okay? So first of all, we need to find the file which matches with this one. So we need Whispers of Spring, large. So I've already gone in fact, let's go to the home, okay? So we'll go retrieve data. We'll go into the USB. Here I have my Seasonal Finishing Touches. And then I need that Whispers of Spring. You have got the gathering on here as well, so just be careful that you click on the right one. Then we have the detail cuts and matte cuts and reflections. So every time you open a folder, there may be additional folders, but everything is labelled. To be able to navigate around the files and the folders for the SVG is really, really good, because we break everything down for you step by step. Detail cuts are like the dies, so these make lovely drawing files. The matte cuts are what we give you when we give you a solid die in the background, a matte for the die, so that's the matte cuts. And then we have our reflections, so we'll go in here because this is what we're needing. And as I've chosen to print the large, we'll actually select large. And here we've got DEC. Now that's the decoupage layer, so we even give you those. So not only do we give you three sizes, the reverse reflection, we also give you the decoupage elements and also in reverse reflection. So the machine does all of the cutting for you and you can just enjoy building your projects. So let's go into the actual reflection. So here we have the reflection. At this point, you just press OK. Now it's on the workable mat with the grid on the outside. So it looks exactly or reflects the actual sticky mat that we put everything on. I need to go into edit because at this point, these are all single files. That little red box jumps all over the place. So if I was to scan this in without grouping it, I'd have to align these all individually. But we have the fabulous little black rectangle, which just takes all of that hassle away. So first of all, we go into Object Edit. No, we don't. We go into Select Multiple Things. Then we go into Everything on the Mat. We press OK, then we go into Object Edit because now you can see it's highlighted everything on here. It's not just one file, it's picked up everything because we've selected everything on the mat. Then the options that we've got that are available to us are the blue ones. The grey ones, it can't actually do anything with that at the moment, but it's here. We want group. Now that's one file. Okay, I can move that around to my heart's content and not worry about disturbing all the others. So first of all, we need to align our reflection onto our mat. So pop it on our mat, make sure it's straight and secure that in place. Just burnish that down. Pop our mat up to the machine and load mat. Like so. And then back to here, press OK, OK again, and we need to make our way all the way back to scanning. So yes, so now it's going to take an image or show me a reflection of the image on the screen. So it's going to scan that in, have a look what it is that's on the mat, and then that will appear on the screen up here. And we'll see that black rectangle appear on the screen. So it's so easy then, we just align the red rectangle over the black one. So if I hold on to my little stylus and drag it over, I'm kind of nearly there. But let's go into into my little magnifying glass. So we've now zoomed in a little bit, but I want to make sure that these boxes are really aligned. So let's go in 400%. And with my cursor keys, I'm going to nudge my little red box until it's over the black one. Glasses on, let's have a look. Let's move it across a little bit. There we go. I'm happy with that. So these top cursor keys move your SVG file around on your screen, and the bottom ones allow us to move around the screen. Now, if you're looking here, none of my cuts line up. And that's because I'm working with the reverse reflection. So I'm happy with the alignment of the box. Everything's okay. I'm going to go back into Object Edit, and now lots more functions are available to us. So if I click here, flip, you probably didn't see very much happen, but I can see that they're all aligned now. So let me show you. Let's go into our magnifying glasses. Press again. There we go. And move down here. Now you can see we've got the black line around the roses where it should be, okay? So then all we need to do is keep clicking, pressing OK through to select and cut, and then allow it to cut. And when you get to this point, it does tell you lots of information on this screen. So it's going to tell me it's going to do 4 minutes. Well, I'm going to say yes, let's cut. Let's allow it to do what it needs to do. So now moving on to what we're making, I'm going to do a little bit of decoupage and snip into this wreath. Now, I know when we do the decoupage with a ScanNCut, you may not want those particular layers, but doing your own decoupage, it doesn't take away from your creativity, okay? So you can still snip into all of these elements and create your own. So what I'm going to do is I want to take away just a little bit of the wreath, okay? Let's come down here around the flower. And as you can see, I'm holding my scissors at 45 degrees. That helps a lot because I'm not creating a white edge, because I'm creating like an edge as if a die had cut it. And then up here, I'm going to snip away some extra elements here. So I'm going to take that away. like so. And then I'm going to take like the basket weave, and I'm actually moving the cardstock and not my scissors. Okay, so let's snip that away, and I'm going to snip into there and snip that away, and then in and around this little white flower, like so. Okay, up and around and over. But the pieces that I've chopped off, I'm not going to get rid of that because I could actually use that somewhere else or tuck it in, make it a different shape if I wanted to. So now that is my decoupage layer to this. And I'm just going to use the back of my hand, or the palm of my hand, sorry, and just put a little bit of shape in on the back of this. There's no special rhyme or reason. It's just to add that little bit of definition. And you don't even need to have the tools if you've not got them. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie and you've only just started. Even just shaping the cardstock with your fingers will add that little bit more definition that you might be looking for. Okay, so on here now, I'm going to add some tape like this, and I'm looking for the bigger landlocked areas because I'm not going to be able to get it on all the, and I want some movement. I don't want to glue down or seal down every element of this. I still want some movement on the card when I've built it, okay? So by leaving some of these smaller, finer pieces free, it allows that to happen. So now I'm just going to pop this over the top, like so. And because it's an extra layer, I'm just going to bend it a little bit and add that little bit of definition. So I've got a lovely wreath now there. So that it's finished, so we can go back to the machine because it's done all the cutting. And while we were doing the building, it finished all that cutting. So usually what I'm doing is when I'm making a project, I'll be making the project, some of the elements that I've started cutting, maybe the decoupage, and allow the machine to carry on cutting for me, loading in different sheets. So we press OK. Yes, that's fine. Unload the mat. And then take the actual cuts away like so, and we are left with all of these pieces. Isn't that brilliant? So that has done all that work for us. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this round like this, and take all these. Aren't these adorable? So it's done all of this work while we were building our project, which is the beauty of the ScanNCut. Oops, I don't have my little, but it doesn't matter. There we go. And then my rose. So once you've actually scanned this in and you've cut it once, if you've got like 4 or 5 sheets of the same thing, as long as you align it back in this place, in the same area that you did originally, you can actually just keep cutting, lay them on and allow it to cut. Just going to take these pieces off like so. There's 2. There we go. Because I'll come back to that in a second. Because what I'm actually going to want to do is I need to scan in this piece to create that back. Okay. So I know what I'm looking at. I know how big I need this to be. Okay, so let's have a look on the centimetres. And we'll bring one of these on. And doing this, it allows me to actually make sure that I've got it right. And if I orientate it, I think that's the straight edge, like so. So that's the way round we're going to need it. And it's about 17 by about 17. So we're nice size. So let's go back. I've done all of that. I've cut what I wanted. So let's go into retrieve data. So now what I want to do is I want to go back into seasonal finishing touches, but I need to go into those matte layers. Okay. So I still want the wreath. So there we go. There we go. And I need to go into the mat cuts. And I want the large, because that was the large one that I did. Ah, that's not the wreath. Where's the wreath? Just bear with me a second. That's the basket, that's the gathering. There we go, one along. I mispressed. I apologise. So mat cuts, large mat cuts. There we go, and there's the mat, and press OK. So now what I want to do is cut that out of white cardstock just as it is, okay? But first of all, I want to move it. So I'm going to select, multiple select, everything on the mat, object edit and group, and I can pull that across a little bit. So I can now pop, whoops, this on, and we'll cut this one out first. So we've got our mat layer ready to go. And then leaving that in place on the screen, I can then scan in my image, which is that lovely doorway, and make sure I get the doorway in the center of where I need it to be. Okay, so okay, again, and cut. Start. So I was talking about these adorable characters, and there really are some adorable characters. So here we have, this is Frida. Oh dear, they make me giggle because we've got some ducks and she's painting eggs with a little painting studio that she's got out. So this is Frida. And I wonder if the lovely Andrew could just remind me, is this Huey? So, and then we've got another little gentleman duck that's called Leonardo, and he is also painting. But aren't these just adorable? I love them. So I'm going to create my own little bit of decoupage with this. So I'm going to keep a whole one. So that's my whole one. I'm just going to snip away Huey's foot that's to the back, okay, and I'm also going to snip away Huey down there because that's furthest away from us actually, and that little handle on the wheelbarrow. So that's my Huey decoupage, which is super easy. And then these are going to sit within my story because the lovely Huey has been collecting the eggs, which the lovely Frida is painting for him. Because obviously we have Easter coming up very soon. So I wonder if you're all going to be doing some egg painting. I'm guessing that there'll be something on the horizon for some of you. But these characters are just fabulous. I love the fact that he's got his waistcoat on and he's got his little hat, his flat cap. So let's go back to the machine because we've done that piece of decoupage. So we're working as long as the actual machine is actually cutting. It's okay. Let's retreat. Let's release the mat. Gosh, couldn't think of the words there. So that is my mat layer, large mat layer. Oops, let go. For my wreath. So that's going to be my wreath that's going to sit on there just like that, okay? So that's the basis of my wreath. But I'm not going to touch anything on the screen. I'm leaving that actual wreath in place, but I am going to bring in my next image, which is that background, and I'm going to scan this in before I do anything else. I'm not going to delete that off the screen. I'm just going to go back, okay, and I'm going to load the mat and then scan that in because I want to fussy cut that middle, okay, so it's actually, I can see it through the wreath. So let's scan, press start, And like I said, this is only because we've got the SVG files and we work with the Brother ScanNCut that we've got the ability of doing this. And that is fabulous, especially having the Minecraft Studio, which is what I've actually printed off from. So if you're looking for this background, it is the Minecraft Studio backgrounds. They're fabulous. So now I'm going to lighten that background so it allows me to see what I'm looking at. Let's go into Tools and let's make it lighter. I can now see that door and where I need to move that imagery to, okay? So I want to be able to see the door through that little circle. This at the moment is still one piece. So what I'm going to have to do is move that door down, okay? So let's take it off the mat, move that door down, pop it back on and scan that back in. So I can definitely see where that door is. I need the door in the middle of that frame in my aperture. And then we're going to delete, once we've cut this, we're going to delete that aperture away and cut the back frame. Now I've got this a bit better. I can move it around a little bit more now. I want the door handle. There, I'm happy with that. So that gives me roughly what I need the door handle. So I can now delete that, edit, delete, because I don't need that for the minute, but I do need a circle. There we go, set that on there, bring that down, and that needs to be a little bit bigger. So go back into edit, object edit, and resize this. So I'm going to keep going until I get right to the edge of that image like so. I'm happy with that. I am going to nudge that over a little tiny bit like so. In fact, a good way of doing this is to use my wreath. Yeah, that's it. I'll nudge that over. I quite like it where it is. A little bit further. There. That's it. Press OK. Now that is going to be the scene through my aperture. Keep going. Press select and cut. So now I can actually do my decoupage of Frida. So here we have the most adorable little animal ever. I just love her. So now I can do a little bit of snipping. So unfortunately, let's snip away Frida's tail. And because of where it is, this is going to be closer to us, okay? So, I'm afraid we're going to have to snip into all of this and take all of this away. And again, holding my scissors at 45 degrees, and I'm actually moving the cardstock, okay? Trimming through there, going all the way across. In fact, I'm going to go right up to the back of a wing. There, look. And then, so that's my second piece of my decoupage for Frida. Popper's tape on, and we can build her, which is super quick, like so. And again, everything that we've done, it's exactly the same. So when I picked Frida, I picked the large and the extra large of my two characters because they're just adorable. Because these are going to be the focus of when I put this together. So there's my lovely character. And while we were doing the character, the machine was doing the cutting. So now I have the aperture of what I needed. So the next thing I need to do is go back to my white cardstock, pop this on here and create the back piece of my card blank. So let's go, it's trying to load the mat because I pressed the wrong one. There we go. So it's finished cutting, home, OK, retrieve data, back into the USB, because now I need those matte layers again. Back into seasonal finishing touches, and I need spring wreath. There we go. Matte cuts and large. And it's thinking about it. There we go. Set that on the mat, edit, and that piece I need to delete. I'm taking that one away. I need to keep that because so we can go all the way through, and that is now the back. I'll make sure that card's stuck on. And load mat. And then we can build the front. Yes, I want that to cut. So now let's go back to the actual card itself. And I'm going to pop some foam tape on here, like so. Again, I'm choosing to put it in those landlocked areas. And then this will go in place. Then we just need to add the scene when it's cut the back piece of the actual card out for us. And we can add our beautiful characters and some of the florals I've already cut out. Oops. So that is going to go on there, like so. And this is totally different to what you can actually do with the dies because firstly, it's a lot bigger. So now bringing this in, you can now see, we can see that lovely door in the background. Okay, unload the mat, take off the back of my card. So that's the back, like so. I'm just going to put a little score line in it across the top. Oops. But I'm going to make sure that that is the piece that's level. There we go. Score that. That is now the back piece of my card, like so. And then we can actually put it all together. A little bit of wet glue. And as always, all of this that you see me working with is available on highlightcrafts.com. So if you've run out of your pin flare, please jump on there and have a little look. Your 250 GSM pure premium print again is on the website. So there's lots of things on there. There's lots of special offers, and don't forget while you're on there, drop in to the outlet. Thank you, Andrew. I'm struggling with my words today. I think I've used too many of them just recently and I've run out. So now that little aperture is going to sit in there. So we're going to get to see that door. I love working with this because it's like, what can we do that's a little bit different? You can do this with your dies. Absolutely you can, but it's not as easy. And you certainly can't make it bigger. And without the Minecraft Studio, you wouldn't have done the backing papers. So everything works beautifully together. So you could use your Minecraft Studio for your backing papers or build a scene. You can use your ScanNCut to make a bigger card blank if that's what you wanted to do. And then you could use your dies to decorate. So all three really do work fantastically together. Okay, so I want my lovely Frida at the front, and I want to, depending on which way, I need to be able to see that wheelbarrow. No, we'll have Huey here and Frida on the inside. Can't see her doing that, so let's have them both on the front. And he can be dropping off the eggs because Huey comes with all these eggs, so we can fill his little basket. So that was another reason why I did the decoupage. Do we go with, well, we've got to go with a big egg, really, haven't we? Absolutely we have. And let's take him off the edge to one side. That's our beautiful Frida. I'm going to add in a couple more eggs around, so Frida's got them all lined up, ready and raring to go. And then we can add in a little bit more foliage. In fact, we have got a lovely little basket that we can put next to Frida as well. So let's pop a little basket on here. So Frida is in place. Put our tape on. 1 and 2. And on there. And then we can build the little scene. So there is Frida doing the painting. Here is our lovely Huey. He's doing all the collecting. In fact, I don't need all of that on there, so that's better. He's been doing the collecting. We have our extra eggs that are building the scene as well, because this lovely Huey is doing a lot of work. He's been to-ing and fro-ing, collecting all these eggs, so Frida can do the painting. Okay, so pop the egg in the big basket. Let's have it that way. Prefer it that way. There we go. We have the basket that I can now tuck in. Do I want that there? No. I'm going to put it further across. So we've got egg tucked in, like so. Got one sat in the basket, ready and waiting. And then the lovely Huey has brought one along. And then to finish off, we have got extra florals. Okay, so let's pop a few of these on our wreath. And I do note there's different colourways as well if you wanted to add in a different splash of colour. And then why not try using the detailed file, doing some drawing and actually doing a little bit of a bouquet maybe. So that can tuck in, oops, behind our beautiful, our lovely Huey. Let's have some roses. And then we can see the cottage in the background. So again, add that one in. And maybe a couple of the leaves and one of the peonies just off the edge. So again, mixing up my mediums, as always, that you see me do quite regularly. So pop a little bit extra greenery behind, and by adding that greenery in, you can change the colourway quite a lot as well. And maybe one of those peonies, pop it in behind that butterfly, and that butterfly could have come in. So that is our SVG card for our fabulous spring finishing, seasonal finishing touches. So we've made the card blank from our matte layers. We've got an aperture going on. So we have that fabulous aperture. We've got our beautiful characters, and we've used the scene from Minecraft Studio. So we've got that beautiful cottage door in the background. So I hope to see your makes. I hope you enjoy the inspiration, and don't forget to like and share everything that we do. So also on our YouTube channel. So you click like and share, is it? Maybe? And you can subscribe as yes. Subscribe to us, so then you'll get all of the inspiration that we put on there for you onto the highlight page. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.